Well, hello there again, folks, and welcome to Toke Freely. Yay! And I'm your host, Mr. Reese. So today we'll have hopefully another exciting episode. Got some new weed in today. Uh, but before I get started, before we get this thing rolling, I will ask that you please subscribe, like, give me some thumbs up, some comments, share, you know. And for my other listeners, uh, please check out my channel with Soul Time with Country Mr. Reese. It's on podcast. It's on Spotify, Anchor, and also a new way to do it is also on there. So I haven't got enough shows on there yet, but I'm going to get more shows on that. On that show is New Way to Do It with Reese is also on Spotify and Anchor, and we have Toke Freely also here, so we still got some merchandise coming. We ask that you please, donate whatever you can. You could my PayPal I didn't get it set up. I've been lazy, so I have to get that fixed. But you can donate directly through the channel here, and we have a Patreon. You can go Soul Town Country Mr. Reese at Patreon, but I don't have a Patreon for Toke Freely. So if you want to, give to Toke Freely, you can donate directly through YouTube and donate to me, and you can donate to our Patreon page, which covers everything, covers all the channels, because I produce all of the shows, Soul Time, Country Mysteries, Toll Freely, and New Way to Do It, Reese. So I produce all the shows. So any money you send, it helps all those shows. Okay, and anything that I forgot, please subscribe. Okay, so today we have some interesting name weed. It's called. Let me cover this up so it won't fall. I don't know why I do that. I have a niece that makes these little places. So if you listening, the niece that makes those plates like you made for mama, I want a black one and a white one. Make me one. I'll pay you for it. So today's name of this weed is called, can you see that? Rhino OG. Okay. And I'm going to show it to you in just a second. It's not much, but I'm going to show it to you. Let me get the light on the phone. On my phone. Turn some light on for you. And we have light. So, this is the weed. Let me put some light on it for you. See, it's like a green, almost mm, like a lime green almost. See it? Let's put the light on there so it won't. There we go. Very nice looking weed. It's got a good smell to it. Hold them there longer for people so you can see it. There we go. All right. It's got a really good smell, but I do smell something like a little chemical to it. There's no lime or nothing smell this time. It's like a chemical smell, high in HTC. I can smell it really loud. Now I did smoke some of this earlier, and it does kind of just go loopy to your head. You have to kind of give it a break between joints, but it's really good weed. So let's get started. So I have my joint here. Let me cut this off. Cut the light off, and we're gonna get the calculator ready. It's not gonna be a long show, so let's smoke the joint. Oh, I got some music for y'all today, And YouTube is non-copyrighted music, YouTube, so you can't do anything. It says no copyright. So we have a little music to play because I know it'd be a little boring with me just here talking. And my partner's not here today, so you gotta do the show by itself. But the first things are, we cut that down just a touch. There we go. It's got a nice smooth taste, a nice deep flavor. It's very deep. And you can taste, the chemical THC on there. You can taste it. At least I can taste it. I don't know if they did it that way or it was grown this way. But it has a mellow taste. But if you take some really, really deep pulls off of it, it will choke you. It's not a heavy chokeability. And it's called Rhino OG. So I guess it's part of the original OG line. Put this right here. I guess it's part of the original OG line, so it's Rhino. I'm trying to ask the guy what do the rhino mean, but they don't know, so he's called rhino. So if it's true to what they said, it's not a bad weed so far. So we smoking. I had an interesting conversation with my partner just now. We just finished the podcast. Excuse me. And we was talking about, if you can, give me some feedback on this. So I was saying, we was talking about preachers and stuff. How I'm not a big fan of preachers. So if you're a preacher and I'm not a big fan of you, nothing personal or the people that like preachers. But we were talking about how preachers make a lot of money, right? And I said, well, if I was, I told them they wasn't sincere. They're not sincere people, because if you're making millions of dollars every year and you're not giving back to the community, then you're not doing God's work. But he disagreed with me. He turned it around and made it. Now, let me tell you the story. So I told him, I said, say if you're a preacher and you made $100 million that year. I said, if it was me, I would keep 10 million and give the rest and put the rest back into the community. Now he looked at it like I'm talking about giving people money in their pocket. But even if I was giving people money in their pocket, why do some people seem to get so upset about that? Because they feel like you ain't gonna make all the money in the world anyway. And you see they trying to do it, but you're so against somebody giving somebody something. And he brings up the whole adage of you teach a person, you can give a person a fish one day, and if you don't teach him how to fish, then teach a person to fish, he can fish on his own. That long story, but it's not about that. And I was trying to explain to him that in every culture, they have it's like almost like an unspoken connection to help each other out. It's just a natural thing. It's not like you giving somebody something and they gonna throw it up in your face. No matter what you do with it or what they do with it, it shouldn't matter. The point is that why do you have to sit on 90 million, $100 million, and you see people starving in the street, and you're gonna turn around and tell them people they don't work hard enough because you made 90 million, $100 million? It's the stupidest thing I ever heard. You know, you give, and all you give back in return. I never would understand that. I got $100 million. Okay, but I know my brothers and sisters is out there starving, and I decided to put $90 million into programs and job stuff and school stuff and maybe a few grants right here, help a person out, pay their mortgage or something like that. And you mean to tell me that's doing a bad thing? Then people who think like that, I can't really see them, but those always end up being the successful ones. You know, the world, this country works the whole world works in reverse sometimes. People, you know, you think it works for you and it's totally working against you, and you just don't know what to do or how to do it. Because to me, to have an attitude like that, it breaks me down mentally to think that our own people think that way. And this guy's a good guy. He wants to help people, but he's so concerned about money, you know, that he couldn't stand to give 90% of his money away to people who could probably use it and do something with it. He'd rather sit on it and boast about being rich than helping other folks. That's not me, folks. That's not me. You can't take a dime of it when you leave this earth, and somebody else gonna get it, no matter how you do it. I believe in enjoying it now. I do believe in enjoying it. You enjoy your money, you know. But if you get to the point, if you making that kind of money, yeah, like these guys, like they say, Tesla, Elon Musk is worth 100 and what? They said 30 something billion. Come on, you couldn't spend that money in 5 or 10 lifetimes. You really couldn't. You know, but yet still they want even more money. And believe it or not, there's people out here that's got more money than him too. There's trillionaires out here. You know, I mean, anytime you can see one of the Saudis driving around in a 14 karat gold car, that car must be heavy as fuck. 14 karat gold, 18 karat gold, one or two. It's a gold ass car. You know, that's just excess to. I don't even know why people. There's nothing wrong with being rich. I'm gonna say that right. Nothing wrong with being rich. Nothing wrong with having money. There's nothing wrong with none of that stuff. But you didn't make that money on your own, and you don't deserve to keep it all on your own. You need to share it. Always share. The more we share, especially among ourselves, the better off we'll be as a people. Nobody's looking for a handout. But every culture looks out for their culture except ours. And it's time we start doing it too. So back to the weed. I know that was a long one right there, but I just felt I had to. We wasn't finished with the conversations, and I felt like I had to just get the rest of how I felt out about it. If you'd agree, give me some comments. If not, hey, But it was just something that I thought about. So this weed is good. The taste goes down good. Got a small coffeeability, but overall it's great flavor. You know, I would like to have like maybe a 2 ounces of this, stick 1 ounce to the side, and smoke it for like when I keep running across mediocre weed. And he did, my partner did say something about the scaling system, what I thought was good. He said we should have an average. I think we are going to have that. We're going to have a good, average. I mean, we're going to have a bad, average, good, very good, and then excellent. Instead of off the charts, I think it's going to be an excellent. We're gonna see if we can do it that way, because you do run across really bad weed and you run across average weed. So I think those are two different categories that we should look into. I don't know if I will be rating them. As far as but I know under 25 would be bad. 25 maybe to 50 would be average. That's how we would do it. Just keep it like that. Then say uh, well to 50. Then you go back. I guess you would say 51. I don't know how you would do it. Between 49 to 50, okay. Then from 50 to 75, past anything past 50, 75 would be, I would say, very good. Be good. So we'll have bad, average, good, and so if you go from 50 to 75, that could be good. Then from 75 to 80, I mean 75 to 85, that can be very good. And from 85 to 100, we can have excellent. So anything I think would be over 85, we can put it as an excellent. And that way we can have a even average of the scoring. And I still think I need to put one more uh, topic on there, because the one topic that we do rate, the accessibility one, that really doesn't apply to smoking the weed. It applies to gaining the weed. So that couldn't, to me, couldn't give the weed an overall 100, because it's not applying to the weed itself, except if it's available. So I have to discuss that one. But other than the weed, it's good. It does go straight to your head. It doesn't wait. Go straight to your head. Has a great taste, aftertaste when you blow it out. You know, it's a very satisfying weed, and it's one of the weeds that I would say is a sativa, not an indica, because when I was smoking it, I wasn't sleepy. It kind of gets you up. I really don't like weed that puts you to sleep. I do like some weeds that's mellow you out, but nothing that really puts you to sleep. I don't really like that kind of weed. This weed, it's a good weed. I really like it. I'm gonna have to give this one a high rating, because it's smooth, and let's check out the texture. So the texture is green. I mean, well, yeah, it's green. It is a little hard to crumble, but let's see. And it's somewhat sticky. It is a little sticky. Does stick to your hands. Has a good deep flavor. I like the smell, but I do smell it like it's a high amount of THC. They're calling this weed an exotic. Maybe I should keep to that. They saying this is an exotic, and it does have that exotic smell to it. You can smell it's very fruity, uh, you know, very aromatic. There's a hint of almost like a lemon smell almost. So it's got a fruity smell as well. You know, Overall, I would say it's very nice, and the texture is very nice. It would be pretty good in a grinder, but by it being moist, this is a moist weed. It will stick to a lot of stuff, but it doesn't crumble down to dust. It doesn't crumble down fluffy, which I do not like either. I have to say that I don't like it when it's fluffy, because when it's fluffy, it burns fast. You don't get to enjoy it, and it's gone before you know it. This one's it's a little fluffy, but I do feel some good solid pieces in here. Just the kind of weed you wouldn't want to let dry out. I wouldn't dry this out, because once you dry, I notice with some of the hydro weeds, some of the uh, what they call exotics and stuff like that. I noticed that a lot of them, if they dry out, they lose their potency, which is really bad because you would think if the weed back in the day we used to get weed and it came moist, we waited on it to dry out or we'd try to speed up the drying process because we knew once it dried out it was a better weed. But some of these weeds it's not that way. I've had some that I've set on a few days, and they got dry and I have to tell you it was less potency. So I don't know if it's something that they're adding to the weed that gives it that moist that moist feeling for a few days or whatever, however long it takes. But if you keep it somewhere in a container that's not a lot of air, it will stay moist. But out up in the air, it dries and it dries fairly fast too, and it does lose a lot of potency. I've had some go either way. I've had some. Sorry about that. I had some go dry, be good, and I had some go dry and be, you just lose the potency. You still have the taste, but you lose the potency. You lose the you don't get no good highs, not even really a good buzz. So I had to finish putting that and tell you about that. So we finish on this joint, you know. So let you people let me know if you liking the music or is it too laid back, too old fashioned something. I do have a few options that I want to go to with the music. So we'll like a little feedback on that, and tell me, what you think of it, you know. Because I do want to try to improve the station as much as possible. I was actually thinking. Okay, and you let me get some feedback. I was thinking of having a WWW day. It's not for big women or anything like that. It's called Weed and Wine Wednesdays. What you think about it? Give me some feedback on that. I was thinking once a month on a Wednesday, called Weed and Wine Wednesday. We put up a bottle of wine and a choice type of weed, and we sit and smoke the weed. And this time we judge the weed and the wine and have a good time doing that. So if you're interested in that, folks, let me know. That'd be something that we can get into to expand the station. Or if it's too bougie or too blah blah blah, let me know that about that too. But I am a wine drinker. I don't really drink hard liquor. I do like a beer. I like certain beers, and I do like certain wines. I'm a big wine. I like wine because to me, wine is I ain't gonna say more civilized and drink than liquor, because I like a shot every now and then too. But it is something that's more warm about drinking when you're drinking wine with people. You know, it just seems like it's a more comfortable vibe in most cases. Well, in most cases, just me and my wife we drink some wine. But when we do drink it with other people, it seems like we always have very nice mellow time. So I was thinking about bringing uh, uh, weed and wine Wednesday, you know, once a month on Wednesdays, and we do that. So if you have a comment or you think it's a bad idea or a good idea, give me some feedback on it, and I decide if I do it or not. We it's everything is not set in stone, so we can take the station any way we want to go, as long as we keeping what it's all about. The thing is what it's all about. So I'm waiting on one of the guys to get back with me at the dispensary that we went to. Haven't got. I did email him. I haven't got anything back yet. But just in case if I missed the email and he missed mine, if you're watching the show, you can always catch me at tokefreely at 1921 at gmail.com. And believe me, your email will come through and I'll respond to it. But if not, we're gonna go around getting more, see if we can get more invites to record some of these dispensaries and let you folks see, what it is that a lot of them offer, and some of the prices and the levels and scales of the weed, if it's good weed or not. The show is to be honest. I'm not to criticize anybody or criticize their product or anything. It's always gonna be about what I like. Basically, always gonna be what I like. And I think what I like, a lot of people gonna like, because I think I have a nose and a taste for good weed. I'm not an expert, but I've been smoking a long time, and I know what I like. And most people know what they like. And sometimes you be forced to smoke whatever you can get. You see what I'm saying? So we'll try to eliminate that, and point you in the right directions where maybe you can find a better quality of weed, and a better quantity and a better price. And if we can't get you at least one of those, we're gonna try to find somebody that will. you know. So and that's what this show is about. We smoke it and we examine it and we talk about it. But if you enjoy smoking it, like I enjoy smoking it, you know, you're gonna want to listen to the stuff that we find out because I'm only gonna find out facts about that. Like sometimes I buy weed in the streets, I know it's not what they say it is. So a lot of times I don't present that on the show. But when I get something that's definite and I know they know what it is and I know that it exists and somebody have made up, I bring it to the show like this rhino. Okay, I got this from a person that got it from a person that buys it from a dispensary in bulk. So this is called the Rhino OG, and I have to say, and as far as the OG line, it's going to get a pretty high score from me because it's good weed. It won't see. I won't shut up. It's good weed, you know, and I would recommend people buy it. So I'm drop a lighter. Sorry, folks. So I'm coming to the end of this joint, and I have to say that I thoroughly enjoyed smoking that. That was a really good joint. I have to say, I will say this though. The weed today, you can find, excuse me, you can find weed today that is better than some of the weed from back in the day, and it's because of the way they cultivate it. See, in back in the day, I think a lot of it was grown in fields and stuff like that, and some of it was a good crop. You get a good crop, you get a bad crop, but with this kind of weed, I think the way they engineering it, they can engineer it to have some of the psychological qualities that we want, like good taste, a good high. Sometimes we may equate a good tasting weed with getting high, and it don't be the case. It be a mind over matter thing. I still don't think it was better than 30 years ago, but I understand how they pushing it out now. So folks, beware. So for the smell, I'm gonna have to say for the smell, I'm gonna give it a really good score. It was an 8. It had a good smell, even though it had a hint of something chemical in it, but the overall smell was very full, nice, mellow smell. Even smelled like there was some lemons in there. So I'm giving that an 8. The taste, I'm giving an 8 too. It was a good taste, mellow, you know, hardly no coffeeability, but it went straight to your head, and it left a good aftertaste. So I'm also gonna give that an 8. The flavor, I'm very impressed with the flavor. For a weed that for what I paid for it, I've so far I have to say I have to give this one of the highest ones because the flavor was right on par. It was just perfect. No aftertastes, no nothing. Good flavor. So I'm giving the flavor a 10 on this one. And I very seldom give flavor a 10 over taste. Okay. Texture, it was a little kind of crumbled up like flour. I don't like that because it probably mostly because it was moist, you know. But it does smoke slow and it's a good taste when smoking. So the moisture, I guess, sort of helps in a way, And you know how I feel about marijuana if it dries out. So I'm gonna give it a texture. I'm also give it an 8. I'm gonna give it texture an 8. It wasn't one of my best textures I like, but it wasn't the worst either. It was pretty good. But in the grinder, it would be a little difficult in the grinder because the bag being moist is going to stick to a lot of stuff. You have to keep, have to get your brush and brush everything out. Okay, Buzz or High. It's going to get a high score on Buzz or High. And I'm thinking about changing this scoring system anyway, this particular one. But for right now, we're going to keep it. So I got a high, and I'm going to put that high as an 8 also. Who downstairs? I am. I'm doing a show. Oh, my bad. Okay. Point of peak. The point of peak, very good. Good taste. Start getting high from the moment you like to join the smoker to the end of it. Good consequence of the high. I'm giving that another high one. I'm gonna give that a 8 as well. Okay. Accessibility. It's pretty well. He said he bought a lot of it, so I'm guessing the accessibility is high. So from a scale of 1 to 10 on accessibility, I'm gonna give it. Since I don't know where to get it from, I'm gonna say if it's accessible, I'm gonna give it a 9. Accessibility and coffeeability, very low coffeeability. I'm gonna give it a 1. Just very low coffeeability. Quality. The overall quality is very good. It's a good weed. It's gonna make you come back for it. It's nice texture, nice aroma, smells good, looks good, tastes good. So for the quality, I'm gonna give it a 10. And for potency, very strong weed. Even though it's mild to go in, it's a very strong weed. It goes instantly to your head, but it's not a 10 level. Okay, it's a good weed. I'm gonna rank it high, but it's not 10 level. 10 layer is sort of like what I had when we had the over the moon weed. It sort of just blew you away, you know. But the potency is very good. I'm gonna give it a 9. So let me get my calculator, folks, and add this up. Seem like see when I change those two categories, it boosts the scores of the weed, you know. So we're gonna get higher scores. +8, +10, +8 again, +8 again, +8 again, +9, +1, +10, and +9 equals 79. So we got a 79. So now that the scoring system is a little different now, so this is going to be, like I said, uh, bad, average, good, very good, and excellent. So gold is 100. So this is a very good 79. So very good. 1 point away from being an excellent, you know. So we have a 79 on Rhino OG, and I would have to say it's a very, 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 very good weed. I could put very, 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 but since we're only going to very good, it's very good. It's a good weed. I do recommend it. And would I buy it again? That's my last question. And yes, I would. I would buy it again. I would look for this weed. Believe me, I would ask about it. It's very, very good weed. Rhino OG. So today, the 29th of May, Saturday, 2021. We have our Rhino OG. Here's the score. So you can see it. And we have it. I'm going to try to get the whole thing up in there. And it's a 79. So I do have to say that the weed I've been getting lately, I've been getting some really good weed, you know. Before I started doing the show, it was always up in the air. But it seems like since I started doing the show, I started getting very good weed from a lot of people. So I do get a little feedback from here and there. So folks, thank you for watching the show. This was fun. I enjoyed it. You know, don't forget to like, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe and share. Tell people about the show. You know, and until next time, folks, and until we meet again, talk freely and bye bye.